Welcome back into the Mental Game, where this week's guest is former NFL star Chad Johnson.
It's weird. We put the value in some of the monetary value things or the accessories that really hold no true value, because the true value is just you in itself.
And in this episode, Chad opens up about his NFL career, playing for the Bengals, his touchdown celebrations, trash talking, and a whole lot more. But this was actually a live podcast at the Kroger Wellness Festival, and we called it Fully Present Living. We talked with Chad and also Chris Marshall, who owns Sands Bar, a sober bar, about living fully present in the moment, but also sobriety. Chad has never drank alcohol in his life, so we talked to Chad about what it's been like to be sober, living fully present in the moment, and both his football career and his personal life. This was an amazing conversation, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. But once again, if you're loving the Mental Game, please like, subscribe, rate, review, tell your family, tell your friends, as we try to help as many people as possible with their mental health. But now it is time for the latest episode of the Mental Game, a special live edition from the Kroger Wellness Festival with Chad Johnson. Thank you guys all for coming out. We got a big crowd out here. Obviously, Ocho, appreciate you coming out. This is something you care deeply about. The topic itself, being fully present, and it's something that I think everybody needs to take accountability for and think about. But for you, it's something you focused on your whole life. Why did you want to make that such a concern for you to be in the moment so much?
I think being in the moment is very important based on what you're trying to do in life. I think everybody has to understand what your short-term goals are and what your long-term goals are. And once you're able to accomplish being in that moment, the short-term stuff becomes easy. And once you make the short-term stuff a habit, then everything long-term becomes routine. And that's the hard part. But until you learn to be in the moment and have some type of structure and discipline, you'll never reach what you want to.
Yeah, and one thing for you, and we talk about living fully present in the moment, never had a sip of alcohol.
No.
Never tried any drugs.
No.
Why was that something you were conscious of to never even step in that atmosphere? Because for a lot of athletes, stars, celebrities, they can get lost in that space.
Well, the first part is I'm extremely cheap. And
that McDonald's dollar menu, baby.
That too. And when you look at the price of alcohol, it's expensive for one. And growing up, I can tell, since we family, I can tell you guys, growing up, my mom was an alcoholic, and she drank extremely heavy. And seeing her become someone I didn't even recognize when she was consumed with alcohol is probably one of the reasons why I stayed away from it as I was younger. So once I grew up, I just shied away from it, even though I was in atmospheres when it usually catches you in high school and usually catches you in college. But I would just fake it when I would go out with friends, and I would have Red Bull and cranberry juice with a little lime on the side, and that was enough for me. But I can't do alcohol. It's too expensive. Yeah,
and I think, for me, my personal story a little bit, I just quit drinking about 7 months ago. Just personal choice. Thank you, guys. You have experiences, and everyone has a story at why they abstain from alcohol or don't do that. And for you, Chris, you have a similar story to me as to why you founded Sands Bar, and I think it's just really powerful. So if you don't mind sharing how you got into this space, because you're on your sober journey as well.
Yeah, well, I stopped drinking when I was 23 years old. I definitely struggled with alcohol. Oh, thank you. I struggled with alcohol all through high school and college, and found myself isolated and alone because of my alcohol use. And that was what got me into counseling, became a counselor. And when I was working with people, I realized that alcohol was taking people out of the moment that they wanted to be in. They wanted to be with people, they wanted to celebrate, they wanted connection, they wanted to party, but they weren't really present. And I wanted to create a space where people could have a place to be fully present, and that's what Sands Bar is. It's the first alcohol-free bar in North America, and every time we're open, people make those real heart-to-heart connections, which I think are so important.
Something that I've noticed, and I'm sure you two can both speak on it too, those same friends that you had and your teammates with the Bengals, you might go out to the club and have a good time with them, but they're not looking at you any different because you're not drinking.
No. No, everyone has their own thing. We're all different. We all have different personalities, different things we're into. But it has nothing to do once we're outside that building. Whoever you are, you're able to be yourself and just be free.
Yeah, and for you being fully present in the moment also meant on the field. I would say you're the king of touchdown celebrations. I think you guys could agree with that one. This weekend, you are going into the Bengals Ring of Honor.
Yes, sir.
Which will be a big moment on Monday Night Football. Give it up for Chad for that. Being able to come back and experience that this weekend and live in this moment where you've had a legacy in this city.
Yeah.
I know when you fly in, you still get picked up in Uber, go straight to McDonald's in Covington, and then get to the hotel and do whatever you're doing in town. But to be able to experience this big weekend with the people that I think I can say this for you, you love the most out here in Cincinnati. How special is that?
Man, it's really special. Obviously, I've done the best I could when I was here in embracing the city, and then the city embraced me back. But making us relevant in some way during my playing days. Obviously, the main goal was to win a Lombardi. I wasn't able to do that, but I tried to do is make it fun for everybody and give some people to brag about. And it really hadn't hit me yet.
Yeah.
Monday night and what's going on, it really hadn't hit me yet. I think I won't understand it until that moment happens inside.
Are you a big emotional guy? Will you tear up, you think, at halftime when that happens?
I mean, I haven't cried since Bambi.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bambi. That's the last time I cried. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. There's an over with my friend. We have an over under whether I cry or not. So.
All right. Well, you're not going to share that with us because that would sway the line in Vegas.
Right.
I'll ask both of you guys this. It's when it comes to living fully present. We talked about it a little bit before, but you're not worried what other people think of you. And I think when it comes to mental health or living fully present, that is a big thing. Not worrying what the outside world or even what your family and friends think of you. It matters what's important to you. I'll ask you first, Chad, then get to you, Chris. But why has self-image and worrying about what other people think of you never mattered to you?
I think I was a people pleaser early on in my career.
Yeah.
Probably like year one, I wanted to do everything right. I wanted to make everybody happy. And when I understood that it was almost impossible to please everybody, I think year two, from that point on, I just didn't give a you know what. And I just continued to be myself. And I felt free. And there's nothing better than feeling free and not caring what anybody thinks, especially people that aren't feeding. They're not feeding you.
Yeah.
They're not
paying you.
So and that's it. I mean, it also depends on what you do professionally.
Yeah.
Your image is everything, but based on what I was doing, it really didn't matter.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. And Chris, for you, 23 years old, that's, I think, for a lot of us can relate. That's probably your prime of going out, having fun, the nightlife. How did you not let that thoughts of what people thought of you get to you and just, stay true to being sober and achieving that goal?
Yeah, for me, sobriety is a superpower. To be able to live in a world that's obsessed with alcohol and not drink is strength for me. And I found my community. I connected with other people who did not drink, and it changed everything for me.
Yeah, it's super powerful. We have talking points here. I know, Chad, you're not one to go by the script very often, so I'm going to flip it a little bit here. Living in the moment for you, your first 2 years meant living inside what was Paul Brown Stadium?
Yeah, in the stadium. Yeah.
You can see your house from here.
Yeah, I can.
What was that like? How did that go? No one just checked in the players' lounge. I've been in there covering the team for 5 years, so cafeteria looks a little bit nicer than it did back then. But you, those first 2 years, you're staying up in there.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Obviously, my frugalness, for that matter, started when I was younger. And once I got here, I don't remember the actual date, but I got drafted. I had to come in the following day.
Yeah.
I went around, looked at places, and I saw the prices of the rent or buying a house. And then I went to the stadium. I went inside the stadium, and it made no sense in renting a house when all the amenities that I would have at a place were inside the stadium. Shower, video game system, TV, cafeteria, even back then, food. So there was really no need to rent a place or buy a place. And obviously, when year 3 got here, Marvin made me move.
Your teammates, though, didn't question it at all? They're like, that's just Chad being Chad?
No, it was just me. I was submerged in everything football.
Well, it has, it paid off, obviously. You had one of the best careers in NFL history at wide receiver. Jamar might give you a little bit of a run for your money.
Yeah, if there's somebody that's going to do it, it's okay.
How fun has it been watching that trio of wide receivers here living their best life along with Joey B? They have that perfect formula where year 2 for Joe and year 1 for Jamar, they're in that AFC title game going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the fun thing, I mean, I think the good thing about Jamar and Joe is they still have that chemistry from college. That chemistry from college, gave them an advantage once they got to the NFL, and the fact that they ended up on the same team, it was perfect. So that connection or their Wi-Fi has been, they hit the ground running right away. I'm excited for them. I'm excited for Monday night, and people that are fans, oh my God, the Bengals are 0-2. We started 0-2 every year.
Yep.
We started 0-2 every year to give everybody else an advantage, and then the cream always rises to the top.
Yeah, it does. Let's move on throughout your career and also, Chris, your life, and we've touched on this with a sobriety. How tempted were you throughout your career? Was there something, I think I heard you tell a story from your childhood with your grandma and your grandmother, not wanting her to see, you maybe drinking or doing anything like that. Did that stick with you throughout your life when you were, Chad, throughout your career? Why was it never attractive to you? Because, you got more famous, got more money, yeah. And I'll admit, I've been out with some of the guys that are on that team now, and they can have a good time. It's tempting.
Right. No, it's not tempting at all. I don't even want to call it discipline. It's just something I just wasn't interested in. Yeah. Like, say, dog, it's expensive.
It is. You can check my bank account. It is.
It's this funny thing. I had a budget that I stuck to, and I never went over that budget. And just the thought of adding alcohol to that budget, it would just it's I don't want to say dumb because there are people that do it. I'm just saying for me.
Yeah.
I did what works for me, and alcohol just wasn't it. It's really hard to put into words because nobody would understand.
Right. And I think and Chris, you can touch on this with me. What you just said, it's like it's a choice for everyone. And when it comes to mental health, living fully present in the moment, it is what's best for you, just taking it and run with it. And for us three, sober life, that works for us. You saw benefits from that, obviously, when you stopped drinking, and then you were able to get into your career as a counselor and then open Sands Bar. How life-changing was that to just see that mindset change inside your own head?
Oh, it was everything. Just to see that I could take an idea and believe in myself enough to take that and $200 and make a business out of it over the couple of years. It's been amazing.
Yeah, and I want to talk about now life after football for you, Chad. You've done a lot. You don't stop. I don't know how you made it here. You're in Miami, LA. You got your Unk podcast with Shannon Sharp now. Each week, you're doing the Madden rankings. You're going to be honored here, like we said, in the Ring of Honor on Monday. How do you keep that competitive edge to keep going after your career?
I think, during my career, I kind of set myself up for everything I'm doing now.
Yeah.
And so it made the transition somewhat easy to be able to integrate myself in different spaces that I'm familiar with, without it having to feel like I'm still working. Mm-hmm. I still feel retired. Yeah. So I do just enough to where it doesn't feel like work.
Yeah, and it looks like you're enjoying it, having a lot of fun. Is there a favorite thing that you do now besides sitting on this stage talking with Bengals fans and us right now? Is there a favorite, the show? Obviously, the Ring of Honor is going to be a huge thing for your life, but is there something that you really point to now that you've been done playing? The cigar business.
I like Tex and Zach Taylor. They bring me back.
Yeah.
Like 3, 4 in the morning. I bother him every time just to see what he'll say, and that's pretty much it.
What day of the week is this? In each Saturday night before game day thing?
I do Tuesdays.
Okay. Well, it's a player off day, so that helps.
So he's off. Yeah.
That's hilarious. Can you throw the ball? Can you play quarterback if we need it?
No, I can kick though.
Okay, I know. I've seen that. Yeah. You got a hell of a leg.
Yeah.
This experience of being able to be with everybody, and you've had a day today. You had a workout earlier at 11. Mm-hmm. Like we said, Bengals Ring of Honor later tonight or later this weekend. What has been your favorite part connecting with the fans? I think I had a friend in college that maybe picked you up from the airport and brought you to McDonald's to get a meal. Yeah. You interact there's no private jets. There's no big. I mean, you'll go eat at Ruby's. Like, don't lie to me on that one.
Every blue moon.
You go eat at Ruby's. You have to, but. Your McDonald's philosophy and your budgeting philosophy, no private jets, I think it just speaks to being in that moment and living the best life how you want to live it.
It just, one of the things I think us as players we get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
You get a boatload of money coming out of college, and all of a sudden you think you have to live a certain lifestyle, you have to live a certain way, drive a certain car. And I try to talk to most of the players. If you can get yourself, your name, if you can get your career, or the way you play on the field, if you can get your name bigger than anything that you can purchase, it makes no sense because then the value is you, not what you're buying. So I would tell them all the time, by the time I got to year 4, there was no need in me to drive a Lamborghini. There was no need to have a Ferrari. There's no need for me to drive private. I'm Ocho. What's the point? I mean, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get
So
it.
I don't know. It's weird. We put the value in some of the monetary value things or the accessories that really hold no true value, because the true value is just you in itself.
Yeah, and that's like your mindset. I feel like you're a preacher up here, just kind of giving great advice and going through your career. If I can, on the mental health side of things, what were some of the hardest things that you had to go through throughout your playing career that affected your mental health and you had to power through living in that moment?
You know what? The funny thing about it, during my playing days, I had on blinders. Really, nothing bothered me, because if I couldn't control it, if it was out of my control, I didn't worry about it.
Okay.
And everything, any issues going on the outside or noise from media, if I had a bad game, any of that stuff, it's like water off a duck's back.
Yeah.
I ignore it, back to work, and try it again. So as far as my mental health goes, I was always in a great state, which is why I was always smiling and always having fun. You know, whether we were losing or winning, I just made sure to keep that light and that engine going every time.
Well, you got the $1 million smile still, looking good now. Chris, we are going to make we're not going to, we're going to watch you do it because you're the expert, a very special drink for Ocho. Can you walk us through that real quick, what we're going to see?
Yeah, so I own a bar in Austin, and it's an alcohol-free bar, so all we do is totally alcohol-free drinks, beers, wines, and spirits, and I thought it would be fitting to make a drink to honor the legend.
I like it.
All right, awesome. Well, I think you're going to step behind the bar. We can filibuster for a second while you get set up. What are the other weekend plans here, Chad?
The missus, I'm not sure where she is.
Staying cool.
Yeah, she's staying cool. After this, I want to go watch Colorado in the Oregon play. I want to watch Prime. After that, Waffle House in Covington.
Okay, great spot.
Yeah, sausage, egg, and cheese. Raisin bread. You ever had that?
I have not.
With orange juice? Yeah, that's pretty cool. And I might go to Ruby's tonight because all the kids will be here. My daughter's at University in Kentucky running track, so she's coming down later on.
That's awesome.
So
that's a nice family affair. Chris, when you're ready, just give me a thumbs up and I'll pass it over to you. You're good to go?
I think we're ready to go.
All right, awesome. Walk us through this. You want to get up and watch him? Let's do it.
All right,
Step behind the bar to get out of the way.
There you go. Behind the bar. We're making Ochocinco 0 in honor of the legend. So we have some citrus, some mango, and orange juice to honor the Miami roots.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Some fresh lime juice. And we're going to go ahead and rim our glass with some tahini and salt, just a little bit there.
What is that?
Tahini, it's like a seasoning. So it's like a chili that's very mild.
Right.
So not spicy at all. But that just gives our drink a little bit of garnish.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna.
I never heard of that.
Oh yeah.
How you say it again? What's it called?
Tahini.
Tahini?
Yeah. So if you like
Tahini.
fruit like mango or
Yeah, I know about
pineapple,
mangoes.
put a little bit of. It's not salt. It's just
Real?
chili.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Something new. All right. So we're
How
gonna
expensive is it?
Cheap.
All right, we're good
super
then.
Cheap.
Yeah, we're good.
Dollar
We're good. All right.
load you up on tahini.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do an ounce of mango juice, ounce of fresh squeezed orange juice. The thing I love about this is you can find all these ingredients at Kroger, which is a really important thing.
Big key. That's where we got all of our ingredients today from, Kroger.
Kroger, absolutely.
This works.
This, I think it works there. Cameron Diaz was up here about 2 hours ago cooking.
She cooked?
Yeah, drinking some wine too, I think.
And then we're gonna use 2 ounces of this Ritual Zero Proof Tequila. It's non-alcoholic, just has some agave notes.
Whoa.
How does this work?
Whoa. It says tequila.
It's tequila alternative. So it has all the agave notes and lime notes, but it's not alcohol, completely alcohol free.
I've never heard of that.
Do you have to use that?
I won't put it in yours. How about that?
Okay, there
I'm
you go.
Brandon Saho.
Yeah. The fact that the name is on there that makes me nervous.
No,
Yeah.
I get you. I hear
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And you know what? I'm glad you said that
Yeah.
because a lot of people aren't fully present and they'll do just whatever.
Right.
And for you to say like, hey, that's not for me, I respect
Yeah,
that.
thank
I
you.
respect
Appreciate
that. I
it.
respect that.
It does throw you off though a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard of like alcohol-free tequila. Someone will pass me some Casamigos and I'm like, yeah, I'm good now.
No,
Like,
that's not what it is. It's just give people a taste of something to make a more complex
Gotcha.
cocktail.
Okay, cool.
All right, so we're going to add that. We're going to mix that all together. We're going to put the ounce of lime juice in there.
Give it a good shake.
You ever tried bartending at all?
No. That's why when he was naming all the stuff in the tequila, even though it's now alcoholic, it sounded like calculus. I didn't know what he was talking about. I had no idea what he was talking about.
I was never good at math either.
Let's keep it simple. So we're just gonna ice that glass up there.
Y'all want a drink?
I think there's samples out there. Yeah.
Oh, they are?
I think so. I think they're coming out there. All right, so we'll get Chad's right here.
Baby, you want a drink? No?
All right, there you go. Ochocinco 0.
Moment of truth. Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
That works.
That's good. You know what it remind me of? When I was a little kid, I mean, I'm not sure, based on age. Any of y'all remember Tang?
Oh, yeah.
Remember Tang?
Little Tang action, little citrus.
Like a
Yeah.
little Tang.
There you go.
Y'all had Tang for real? Oh, y'all old. They old.
Tang's still popular. Tang's still hitting. I'll get you one, Brandon.
All right, yeah, I'm thirsty. Whew.
They still sell Tang?
I think so, yeah.
They still sell Tang? Yeah. Oh man, throwback.
I think when I was a kid, I had, was it Jones Soda? Was that a thing?
Oh, yeah.
I still had that.
All right, this is good.
So everything that you're making right here, they can all go to Kroger, get this, make this for watching Chad be inducted on Monday night when they're watching it on ESPN.
Absolutely. Make the Ochocinco 0.
Ochocinco 0. I like the name of that. Thank you so much. I'll give it a shot here, too. Yeah, that is really good.
That's good.
Hydrating, too.
There you go. Fresh.
How about a round of applause for Chris making the Ochocinco 0? We're going to make our way back over here to the seats here and do a little bit of Q&A in just a sec. Do we have a third mic here? Matt's going to walk around. If you have a question for Chad or Chris,
Don't be nervous.
I'll make it drink.
we're gonna have you ask it to him right here. I do want to do this story real quick, though, since we're doing so much of the Ochocinco name. I love this backstory. Would you mind telling?
Oh, they don't know why?
I think some Bengals fans do for sure, but I just love that backstory of the pregame practice.
Yeah.
But it was Carson's idea, right?
Yeah, it was Carson. That was Jordan Palmer's idea.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. So, the Ochocinco name, how it came about. We were playing the Atlanta Falcons that week. Obviously, it's Spanish Heritage Month in the month of September. And Jordan Palmer comes up with this idea, you should put Ochocinco on the back of your jersey. I'm like, no, that's stupid. Why would I do that? Then he said, well, it's Spanish Heritage Month. So I had Rex. Rex was our equipment guy at the time. I had him make up the name tag Ochocinco with Velcro on the seat over the seat Johnson. So I go out for pregame against the Falcons, and I warm up with Ochocinco on the back. Mm-hmm. And right before kickoff, Carson tears it off.
Yep.
So the game ends. The next morning, I get a fine from the NFL for $30,000. I'm like, it says altering the NFL uniform, and then I appealed it, and they didn't give me the appeal. So they took $30,000. So what I did was I waited till the end of the season, and I went to court. I changed my name for real to force the NFL to put it on all my jerseys.
And made some money off that too.
It's like I'm not trying to curse. It was like a F you to them just for being mean. So it turned out like a way to get back at the NFL, but it turned into a brand after that, and it just took off.
It's been amazing since it's turned into a marketing miracle. Do we have questions in the crowd? I'm trying to find Matt.
We got one right here to start us off.
All right, give us your name and where you're from.
Gabe, I'm from Cincinnati.
All right, what's your question, buddy?
What's your favorite video game?
My favorite video game is FIFA, and if you'd like to lose to me, we can play after this.
All right, other questions, get your hand up. Matt's going to work around the crowd right here. Anybody going to the game on Monday? All right. There we go, a big hoo day. All right, give me your name and where you're from.
Hey, Chad, Randy, originally from L.A., just moved to Cincinnati a year ago. You're the man, by the way. Thank you for being here.
Yes, sir.
Who's the toughest DB you ever faced?
Revis, he's the only one. He's the only one got lucky in those 11 years. He's the only one. Yeah, he played really well. He was a beast, man. There's really no way to explain it. Just something about that 2009 season he had, probably the best ever.
If I can piggyback off that before this next question, you're trash talking. I know this is a clean show we're doing here, but there's no one that did it better.
It was fun. It was fun. It was fun. It was. I call it playing mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
If I can get in your head, that gives me an edge mentally.
Yep.
Now, obviously, I was so little. Physically, I wasn't imposing at all. But if I can get the mental edge on you by talking trash, if I can get you to talk back,
Yep.
I know I got you.
Well, if anyone is bored later tonight or wants a good laugh, go watch NFL films on YouTube, and you have Chad mic'd up. All right, let's go back over here. Name and where you're from.
Hello, my name is Drew, and I'm from Cincinnati. Chad, when you heard that you're going to be inducted into the Bengals Ring of Honor, how did you feel?
I felt good. When I talked to Mike Brown in the office, I said, the first thing I asked, what name would go in the stadium? Would it be Johnson or Ochocinco? And he didn't give me an answer, so I'm going to see what that answer is, come Monday. And then I asked about putting a statue out front, and that didn't go over so well.
Do you ever, what would you prefer?
I like the statue out front.
Okay.
I'll pay for it.
All right, there you go. But that can be pretty expensive.
For a statue out front,
Worth
that's
it?
fine.
Worth it?
Yeah,
All right,
that's
cool.
worth it.
All right, let's go right back here. Give me your name and where you're from.
My name is Layla Compton, and I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina. And who was your favorite mentor when you joined the NFL?
My favorite
mentor when you got into the NFL?
My favorite mentor, the funny thing about it, I don't know if you would know who it is. My mentor back then was Ray Lewis. The funny thing, I mean, obviously you guys wouldn't know about it, but for 10 years straight, at 10 a.m. on Sundays, Ray and I always did a scripture. Regardless of whether we were playing each other or not, we did a scripture, and he said a word before every game. And the funny thing about it is when we played them, we would do a scripture, he would give me a word, and then he'd try to hurt me on the field. But it made no sense. But I mean, he's a very, very good friend of mine, man, and kept my head on straight during my playing days.
Did he have a couple good pops on you?
Did he what?
Did he have a couple good pops?
Yes, yeah.
All right, Matt, where are you at?
Right over here.
All right, cool. Name and where you're from.
My name's John, and I happen to be a Bronco fan, but I'm
You happen to be a who?
Bronco fan.
I'm sorry about that.
I am too.
It's okay.
I am too. But tell us a little bit about that night, that Monday night when you had the 2 or 3 touchdowns against Champ.
Okay. I was a baby back then. I think that might have been the 05 year, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 04. But Champ at the time, one of the greatest DBs to ever play, and it was an unbelievable night. To have success against someone of that magnitude that I looked up to as a DB it meant a lot. It meant a lot. He was very upset after that game. Very upset. It was funny.
Do you have a favorite game? If you can look back and pick one, I know it's tough.
Favorite game? No, not really.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I got another question after we get from the crowd. Name where you're from.
My name's Carly Markham, and I'm from Cincinnati. And my question is, if you could go back in time, like from when you were playing with the Bengals, what team would you face and why?
If you could go back, what team would you face and why, right?
Yeah.
Probably back then, the 2000s, probably the Bengals. Bengals or Ravens. I mean, Steelers or Ravens again.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were really mean. No, like they weren't nice people for real. Like seriously, there was a true hate. The players, they didn't get along. They screaming at each other, cussing at each other, and I'm the only one on the field screaming "I love you" to James Harrison. It's weird. They really hate each other.
Yeah.
Like for real, it's weird.
It was a passionate rivalry. Still is. You have moments. Waiting for one more question. I ask you this. You had many great TD celebrations. You proposed to a Bengal, I believe.
She said yes.
She did say yes.
She said yes.
So what a moment for both of you. You had your own Hall of Fame jacket that you put on. I think you had your own Tiger Woods moment, putting it in.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite one?
The favorite one I never got to do. We were playing Kansas City, in Kansas City. Anybody remember the easy button from the Staples commercial?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put the easy button under the goalposts, the north and south end zones when we were playing Kansas City, and I was hoping to score.
Yeah.
And pull the easy button out and run to Carson and have him hit it. But I didn't get a chance to score that game. That was about it.
Did you get that idea from, was it Joe Horn that pulled out the cell phone in New Orleans?
Yeah. I think this might have been before that. This might have been way before.
All right, you're
that.
original. I didn't want to think that you were copying off somebody.
No.
All right. Name and where you're from.
Hi, my name's Alex. I'm from Cincinnati. Chad, love watching you and Hushmanzada play back in the day. Do you have a favorite pair of sneakers?
Favorite pair of sneakers, Air Force Ones. They go with everything. Doesn't matter what you're wearing. Just pair of Air Force Ones.
Pretty clean sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Good
simple.
look. We got questions for Chris as well. I know we're doing a lot of football ones. Obviously, we want to hit on the fully present living as well. Fun football questions, too, though. Right back here in the front row, name and where you're from.
My name is William. I'm from Cincinnati. Chris, I wanted to ask you, how was the transition from the friends that were drinking to your new sober friends? And what was your pivotal moment that you decided I have to go a different way?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I was, like I said, really young when I stopped drinking, and I noticed that there was a lot of friends who just fell away because they were just there for the party. And in a moment like that, you find out who your friends are. And so there was a point where it was uncomfortable. But then I found all these new friends who were about being present and taking care of their body, and it changed everything. I was able to connect with a community of people who were all about living a positive life. So that's a great question.
Yeah, great question there. And Chad just finished the drink. I think it's pretty good, right? That Ochocinco Zero?
good.
Yeah.
Chris, a couple more questions from you from the crowd. What are some other great drinks you make and some other flavors you like to use?
I'm a big fan of anything with ginger. So anything like ginger beer. I like watermelon mint and ginger beer together. I think you can just play with all these great ingredients and really make something fun. I believe drinks are a part of celebration, and just because you don't drink does not mean you cannot have a fun celebratory drink.
Awesome.
Yep. And if I could piggyback off that, I mean, I've experienced it the last 7 months. The same people that would hand me a beer or hand me a shot of tequila, like that's not alcohol free. Same people that are handing me a Powerade or an NA beer. People that you love and you trust, they're going to appreciate whatever decision you make. All right, back to questions. See one in the third row over here, front row. All right, name and where you're from.
Garrett, from Cincinnati. Chad, how was it like having to deal with adversity going from Cincinnati to New England, learning a new playbook and just dealing with Coach Belichick and Brady?
That transition was difficult. It was difficult because it wasn't in my hands at that time. The way the NFL works in general, when a receiver hits a certain age and you get to year 10, they move regardless, no matter who it is. And, year 10 is the mark. Honestly, I wouldn't have went to New England. Honestly, even though it is Tom Brady, I just understood the way that system works over there. Everything is run from the inside out. So unless you're a slot receiver, you're not going to touch the ball often. The playbook, it was okay. The scheme or plays don't change from team to team, just the way you call it. That's it. There's no difference. But it was fun. The environment. Bill Belichick is exactly who you see on TV. He's no different. A lot of people ask me what it's like playing there. I've never been to the military. I've never been to the Army. But that's exactly what it's like. No, I'm serious. In a good way. That's why they win all the time, in a good way.
We got about 10 more minutes here of Q&A. I do want to piggyback off that if I can. When it comes to living fully present in the moment and your mental health, you're a guy that didn't like to follow the rules. You like to do your own thing. You like to be yourself. But when you got to New England, I think you had to be yourself. Or you couldn't maybe be yourself because of like what you just mentioned with Coach Belichick. Was that hard on you mentally, or was it a sacrifice for you to win with them?
I understood. They have a thing called the Patriot Way, and you just already know. Nobody has to explain it to you. It's just once you walk in the building, you see the way things are done.
Yeah.
We know there's no room for that. Think about Tom Brady. All of us have followed Tom Brady throughout the years. Think about the Tom Brady you saw in New England, and think about the fun, energetic, entertaining Brady you saw in Tampa.
Yeah.
He's on social media, having fun, making jokes. He's on TikTok. So you just know there's certain stuff you can't do. Tom didn't even do it until he got out of there. So that tells you, even I would be expendable.
Yeah.
I would be expendable if I tried that stuff.
Yep. All right, more questions here. I see one in a Reds jersey. Name and where you're from.
Hi, I'm Blake, and I'm from Kentucky. Last season when they did the coin flip, how did you feel, and did you actually pay the fine?
The coin flip was an idea of mine that I tweeted out. I thought it would be funny, since the NFL wanted to be rude and mean. It was really dope. When it happened, I tweeted it out, and I gave Joe back the money.
That's awesome. All right, next question. Name and where you're from.
Maya, and I'm from Indiana. Are you saying that you like to drink because you're getting paid for this, or do you actually like it?
I think the question was, are you saying you don't like to drink because you're...
She said, is he saying that he likes the drink?
Because he's getting paid for that. They're asking if you like the drink because you're being paid to be here. You like this drink. No, it's good, right?
No, it was good. It was good. It tastes like Tang. I'm serious.
We got to get her a sample. All right, next question. Name where you're from.
I'm Kiana, and I was wondering if you came up with your name or if like one of your friends came up with your nickname.
Which one? The Ochocinco?
Yeah.
No, it was my jersey number. Yeah, it was my jersey number.
And it also has transitioned into your cigar business, too.
Yes, it has. It has.
I'm a big cigar guy myself, so we might have to figure that out this weekend.
I got you.
All right. What do we got here?
My name is Matthew, and I'm from Cincinnati. I actually work at the Bengals Pro Shop. I want to know your opinion about the Bengals Pro Shop.
What did he say?
He said he works at the Bengals Pro Shop, would like your opinion of the Bengals Pro Shop. I'm not sure.
I mean, the Bengals Pro Shop has always been good to me. Yeah.
All right, simple answer. Next question.
I'm from Northern Kentucky, but I go to UK, so I was wondering when you're going to watch your daughter for track.
Wait, when am I going to?
When are you going to go down and watch your daughter run track?
Well, I'm not going to watch. When I do go down there, I'm going to practice with the team because I want to show the athletes that are there that I'm still faster than everybody. So I think I'll be there maybe in 2 weeks. Right now I'm busy all over the place, but when I do get there, Coach Lonnie knows I'm coming to run.
Am I remembering this right? Did you try to race a cheetah at the Cincinnati Zoo one year?
No.
No? I don't know why I thought you did.
No.
A horse, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the horse. Yeah. Okay. Did you win?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Well, I had a head start, though.
All right. Okay. What we got here?
Hi, my name is Ezador, and I'm from Cincinnati, and there's been a question that I've been wanting to ask you for a long time. So you played in the NFL for over a decade, and I know you played in the CFL with Montreal. What was the experiences, and how did you adapt from the NFL style to the CFL style?
I mean, obviously the CFL, the field was a little bit wider. One of the surprising things when I got to the CFL is the talent level. The talent level, obviously, with me having no knowledgeable information or actually watching or playing it, the guys in the CFL actually look no different than the guys in the NFL. Obviously, you have your top players, your top tier players, obviously, but then there are guys that are first and second string that can actually play down south here. And I always ask the question, what are you doing here? And then it all comes down to numbers and opportunity. And that was one of the things about the CFL that I learned really quick is the talent level is just about the same except for your very, very top guys that are the best at what they do here.
We got time for one more, I think, and we're going to wrap it up with this question right here. Name and where you're from.
Hi, Chad. Anthony from Cincinnati.
Anthony, I fucking love you.
I forgot the bleep button on that one.
My bad, sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, I love you, too. Thanks for everything you've done for the fans over the years. I wanted to have you elaborate a little. I always thought it was interesting that you lived in the stadium for a couple of years. I wanted you to kind of elaborate on that and who found out you were living there and how receptive they were to that.
Well, honestly, management doesn't come down to the locker room very often. And then you have to think, you practice, you got meetings at 9, you got walkthrough, you go to lunch, you practice, 2 to 4. And after that, everybody goes home. Coaches are still upstairs, but there's no need for coaches to be roaming around downstairs, after hours. So it's pretty easy. Players hang around, you linger for a little bit. But then I can go out, I can come back, I have a gate code. And the players' lounge, when I tell you, Anthony, it has everything. It has everything. The stadium has everything. Like, why am I wasting money renting a place? It just made no sense because everything was there.
Thank you guys so much for all your questions here. I got a couple more for Chad and Chris as we wrap up. Give this an opportunity for both of you to answer this. Advice.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
Excuse me, sir, with the Oregon Duck jersey, shirt, you're going down today.
Big Prime guy.
Yeah.
You guys have had some good battles on set, on the
yeah.
field. Yeah, it's been fun to watch. Final question for me for both of you, but I like to ask this at the end of my show each time I have a different guest on. I've been lucky enough to have Coach Taylor, Ricky Williams, Ryan Shazier, different athletes and celebrities on who have gone through their mental health battles or want to live fully present in the moment. What advice would you give to someone in this audience today that maybe is struggling to live in that moment, or to put down maybe that drinking habit, or just someone that needs that extra urge or courage to go out and get some help or motivation to take control and live fully present in the moment?
Reach out, talk to someone. Someone sitting here today knows someone that's struggling with mental health or substance use, or both. And we only can change things when we normalize it. We can only normalize when we talk about it. So reach out to someone, tell them that you're struggling, and there's resources in every city and state. There's a way to make that community and make that connection.
As far as mental health goes, and those that may be struggling with alcohol abuse or anything like that, if you don't have the discipline, it all comes down to the people in your company, the people around you. The people around you, if they're not trying to help you, if they're not uplifting you, or they bringing you down, that's all it is. And I think obviously during my days, I was one that I already had discipline. So regardless of my surroundings, or regardless of who I was with, I was able. I didn't go into those things. But for those who do have a problem with it, check your friends. It's normally the people closest to you.
Yep. And if I can add 2 things to that, I tell people 2 things every time when it comes to mental health. Number 1, do something. Call your friend, call your mom, call your therapist, just do something. And 2, feelings are temporary. If you're in a bad spot, you're depressed, you're sad, you're mad, you're angry, you might not see it in that moment, but I promise those feelings will pass and you'll be able to move on in life and be happy again. Let's give a round of applause to Chris Marshall from Sands Bar and Chad Ochocinco Johnson going into the Bengals Ring of Honor this weekend. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I'm going to be hanging out here for a little bit, but we'll see you guys. Are we leaving?
We're done?
We're done.
Already?
We're done.
Baby, are we done? Ryan, yes? Oh, I'm sorry. I love you. Call me if you need me. My number's still the same.
Thank you, guys. And that was such a fun event with Chad, and I love that conversation, him really opening up about why he's never drank alcohol in his life, mentioning how his mother was an alcoholic, but also talking about, obviously, it can be expensive. I just love all the stories Chad has from his playing days with the Bengals and then also off the field with the fans in Cincinnati. I can't thank Chad, Chris, and the Kroger Wellness Festival enough for having the mental game out and for that awesome, amazing conversation. And thanks to all of you who came out to watch it live in person in downtown Cincinnati. Next week, we have a very, very special episode here on The Mental Game. It is World Mental Health Day on October 10th, and I have one of my biggest guests ever joining us. That is your one hint. I'm in Los Angeles shooting all week, so we'll see you right back here next week on The Mental Game.